We're starting the show in Southeast Portland in the Lentz neighborhood, not because something bad has happened, but because something good has happened.
4 years ago, skaters decided to start an illegal DIY skate park called Creston DIY at an abandoned tennis court located in Southeast Portland. A few years later, Portland Parks and Rec announced a $5 million budget for a new skate park. In 2025, that once illegal DIY skate park will become an official multi-million-dollar city-sanctioned skate park. So I recently had an opportunity to go up to Portland, check out Creston DIY skate park, the park that is the topic of this video. Not only that though, I got to check out a bunch of different DIY skate spots. In this video, we're going to go on a little tour throughout Portland, showing you some of what, in my opinion, is the most DIY friendly city in all of America while we talk about this topic. Also, I had the opportunity to talk with some of the original builders of Creston DIY and just get their thoughts on this whole situation about it becoming an official skate park for the city versus a DIY.
It's a community spirit and a determination to make things better for neighborhood kids.
Steven's like, we're gonna go to a coffee shop and get some coffee. It's called Jet Black Coffee Shop. My first stop here. It's funny because we pulled up and I didn't even notice the skate park at all. And I was like, oh, we're just ordering coffee. Steven's like, look out the window. And there's this skate park here. It's so sick. Like little mini DIY zone. Got a little berm over here. Another berm. This little wall ride channel over the doorway. Is that a fire? Yeah, I think it's a fire pit. Cool local spot. I think there's 2 locations in Portland. Decided to get a roll around. Definitely have some shaky plain legs. Yeah, everything's noping too. I love noping. It's kind of like a bird bath. This is the Interstate DIY. This is the first spot I've been to since the coffee shop. Check out this kicker they got. Bumps you over the guardrail, which is pretty rad. I think this place has popped up in the last couple of months. I'm just gonna give you guys a little tour right now. Manual pads, got angle iron on both sides. Got this sick ledge. Angle iron tranny on one side, curb, another ledge. There's a lot of ledges. There's 3, 4 ledges here. You got that pyramid with the block. Spine obstacle over here. This thing is pretty sick. This is some good inspiration for the DIY at home. They got wall rides on both sides with the transition with the deck so you can gap to the wall. There's some wood obstacles here, which is interesting too. Normally don't see too many wood obstacles. Got a nice curb right here. Crazy flat rail. This little spine thing looks really cool. I think the newest obstacle that they've built here is this bad boy. It's kind of bank to jersey barrier. It's got some transitions on the side. And then you got your more classic sort of jersey barrier. Some good transition. Probably have to come back here. It's a good time. The ground actually looks really rough, but it's really not that bad. It fell a couple times on my hand. Really isn't too bad. Really fun spot. I mean, it's pretty cool that they just took over the parking lot. Something I was mentioning is I feel like back home people would be taking all the wood supplies. There's wood ledges, a lot of wood obstacles. It's kind of crazy. There's a lot of respect here in between the skateboard community.
At the time of recording this video, I was just hearing about the $5 million Portland Parks and Rec budget for the new skate park. There was 3 candidate locations for the budget: Creston Park, Powell Park, and Glenwood City Park. Prioritize them based off their strengths and weaknesses. Creston was the selected location. Something that Parks and Rec put into consideration was Creston having the largest number of individuals in a 2-mile service area, along with a higher number of youth and people of color than any other candidate sites. A local public survey revealed people felt this was a good way to pay homage to the efforts of the skateboarding community at Creston DIY Skate Park. I got a hold of some of the original builders of the park, which have requested to remain anonymous, so I'm going to use an AI voice for this. I'm sorry, but I think this is the best way to go about it without exposing their identity. First question is, do you have any professional experience with concrete?
Very little experience working with concrete prior to building at Creston, but we wanted to build down there because of its prime location with the shade and protection from the wind.
Now I have to ask the obvious question of, did you have any intention for the DIY to become an official city-sanctioned skate park?
We had no intention of turning it into a city-sanctioned skate spot. We were in contact with the park's director in case they decided to shut it down, but it was during the pandemic and everything was in the gray area.
Do you have any concerns about the city building a skate park versus it being a DIY?
I think the freedom of it being a DIY skate park will be missed. But as far as DIY goes, I would consider the city turning it into a proper skate park is a huge success story in comparison to it being demolished for something else.
Is there anything you'd like the city to consider when building the official park?
Cities should take Creston Park as an example of adding skate parks to pre-existing city parks can be a good improvement to the park itself.
Now with that said, the DIY obstacles will be removed and the city has already planned a new design. The new park is anticipated to start construction in the fall of 2025 with completion in the summer of 2026. It is said that the new skate park will be covered and have a design that allows the water to run off from the roof along with lights, so you'll be able to skate it at nighttime. For now, all the DIY obstacles still remain until the construction starts, so if you want to go check out Creston, check it out. You can check out the links down below. I'll keep everybody posted, and ultimately the objective with this video is just to show people that you shouldn't just do things because of the legal and the red tape and everything that comes along with it, or maybe the preconceived notions of what people believe is a good space or a bad space. Just do it, look out for your community, do good things, and good things happen. Not always, but sometimes they do, and just don't be scared to try. Essentially, that's the goal. I think there's a lot of good examples of that.
All right, as you can see, everything here has like a little, sort of like a run up to it and run away from it, like this fresh concrete. It's still wet over here, so I'm trying to make some room. All right, before I get into too much skating, I'm gonna give you guys a quick little tour of this place because I have to. That's the objective here. Check this thing out. This is pretty cool. Like, nice quarter pipe, good transition. They got noping over here. They got the piano keys right here, metal coping, takes you all the way down to the flat. As you can see, there's so many obstacles, so I'm not gonna run through every single obstacle. I'm just gonna show you some of the cooler ones, I guess. Or in my opinion, rainbow rail, crazy flat rail, more quarter pipe. They got the, I think there's some sort of like weird pull coping on here, which is pretty dope. Another bank to ledge type of situation with the train. This one's almost similar to the Interstate spot. That's the barrier, bank, curb, some nipples. So the coping for this obstacle is literally a garage spring. Like, check this out. This thing right here. Friend Steven's favorite obstacle. I think just because of the noise it makes. This little trifecta spine situation is pretty rad too. 3 spines right here. I do want to show you like how crunchy this ground is really quick. Let me just pick a spot. Here's a good example. Like, here's the ground. Like, it's serious crunch. I don't know if you can see. Even with my soft wheels, it is really hard to skate. Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot overall. I mean, that's basically the gist of it. You can kind of see from the overhead view too. Got that brick thing right there. I mean, skating this ledge right here. It's a pretty cool little ledge. This thing, like, I don't even know how you're supposed to skate this. Pretty wild. Again, it's not, shaming it or anything like that. It's just crazy, really creative. This rail right here, like, super wild. Super steep transition, vertical transition that turns into a spine. It's got like a little gator gap with a hump that like shoots you out of the middle. And then last thing I'll show you real quick is this double-sided pull coping spine. It's kind of got a cool little slappy on the side. Really rad park. I mean, it's definitely one of those ones where you can tell like people are just going at it, having fun. Check out Feral Cat Cove.
I first spotted the project at the end of January as I rode my bike along the Springwater Corridor Trail. It's at Southeast 100th and Duke. I was surprised to see a bunch of guys working to smooth concrete as they built a wall for a growing skate park. I stopped to ask who they are and met Alex Jenga. I interviewed him using my phone. He said, there's no company behind this project.
No, it's just a community group, loosely organized group of people that come together to clean this area up and make a safe place for kids to get some recreational activity through skateboarding, biking, you name it.
That's the cool part about Portland. I feel like these DIY spots are like out in the open. It's actually been going on for 4 years. They had the 4-year anniversary last month, so let's check it out. Yeah, they even got some signs up here. Please save the cove. I'll leave a link down below if you guys want to support all the DIY spots that are going out here in Portland, because obviously without support and skaters supporting them, coming up, showing up, donating, they wouldn't be able to do this. It does look like it's city sanctioned from the looks of it. Like it has the helmet law on here. I mean, maybe that's part of like what they do so that it doesn't get torn down. First things I noticed is actually like you can go through this little passway to get to the bike path. I'm gonna imagine they do that intentionally so that like city or nobody gets upset that they don't have access to the bike path. So it's kind of the same reason that like I always try to build at the ditch that I'm building right now. I don't build in the middle. I think this is the original area that they first started right here, and they're actually demoing a lot of it. It looks like they chopped up a lot of this stuff. And then another thing, check this out. They worked around the drain right here. Very smart.
Now to an update on a story we brought you last week, the do-it-yourself skate park. And while it appears sturdy and well-built, it's not officially sanctioned by the city.
We had some neighbors that are in support of the skate park build come and talk to them, and we had some of the youth who just got out of school to come down here and skateboard and talk to them and tell them the merit and the positive aspects of this project.
The park's employees would not talk to our photographer who took this video, but Alex said they were nice and simply there to see the skate park for themselves and then report back to their bosses.
When they're doing DIY stuff, they're very considerate of the city infrastructure so that they don't get in trouble, which I think is an important thing. Metal coping on there. Look at, I think this must have been a barrier. Yeah, you can kind of see the barrier underneath there. Inspect the cove. This bike path takes you all the way down to the water, which is really rad too. I know they're going to be building more and more down here, so I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into like a pretty big skate park. This looks like really good concrete work to me. It reminds me of the spot in Sweden that they tore out a long time ago. I think it's called Step Inside. Diamond grind coping. It's not really diamond grind, but they just like put some axes into it. Cheap man's diamond grind, which is basically the same thing. This extension is gnarly. Yeah, this whole area right here looks pretty proper. There's a lot of vert on that. You can also see like they were building on nothing.
There's one skate park way up over the hill on Mount Scott. That's pretty, you'd have to hike really far if you're a kid that doesn't have a driver's license, doesn't have a mom, like mom and dad are at work, you don't have a way to get there. That'd be really hard to get there. And then at Benedict, which is always really crowded off of Powell. And so this has kind of been a dead zone for skate parks. So the community took action into their own hands. And as you can see, there's people volunteering their time here to make a safe place for kids.
Oh, you found the line. Nice.
Ideally, we'd like to have them work with us and recognize it and someday get umbrellaed into a liability insurance plan and be able to keep it for the community.
I asked the Parks Department whether the city is working to approve the park or maybe moving towards tearing it down. The spokesman said the city has no plans nor decisions at this time, which I think is good news for the skate park, at least for now.
Definitely not a DIY spot, but look how perfect this thing is in a way. Got the angle iron on there, a little two-stair, pretty sick. We just got to Commonwealth Skate Park. It's a skate shop too. Got to pay 10 bucks to skate in here. It's pretty cool. It's definitely from small terrain. They got a little peninsula, hip area. Yeah, excited to skate today. Skate indoors. That's one thing we don't have in San Diego is like indoor skate parks or indoor like little skate areas. Look at, they got a mini ramp back here too. Tiny, tiny mini ramp. You can do wall rides on it. That's the outside. So there's some street obstacles here as well. Check it out. You got a ledge down here. Got a curve down here. Pole jam that's like super flat. And then you got this hip. Dang old punk wall too. Squid's about to plug in some music. Last DIY spot for the trip. We're gonna hit the plane in like an hour, so got one more little Jersey Bear we're gonna hit up. Try to get a couple quick lifts before heading off. I'm so sore right now, just haven't been sleeping good, body sore, but I gotta take advantage of a little bit of time we have left. Oh, baby. Alright, well, my hands are filthy. I'm exhausted. And that's all I got.